Joanne Rowling quotes, "It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. We have to choose between what is right and what is easy. Fear of a name increases fear of the thing itself. I don't think about who the audience is for my books. The best of us must sometimes eat our words. Wit beyond measure is man's greatest treasure. Imagination is the foundation of all invention and innovation. It matters not what someone is born, but what they grow to be. What's coming will come, and we'll just have to meet it when it does. To the well-organized mind, death is but the next great adventure. You control your own life. Your own will is extremely powerful. Indifference and neglect often do much more damage than outright dislike. You sort of start thinking anything's possible if you've got enough nerve. We are only as strong as we are united, as weak as we are divided. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. If you want to know what a man's like, take a good look at how he treats his inferiors, not his equals. It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. We do not need magic to change the world. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already. We have the power to imagine better. You will never truly know yourself or the strength of your relationships until both have been tested by adversity. The truth, it is a beautiful and terrible thing and must therefore be treated with great caution. I don't think there's any harm at all in allowing a kid to fantasize. In fact, I think to stop people from fantasizing is a very destructive thing indeed. Failure is so important. We speak about success all the time. It is the ability to resist failure or use failure that often leads to greater success. Life is difficult and complicated and beyond anyone's total control, and the humility to know that will enable you to survive its vicissitudes. The world is full of wonderful things you haven't seen yet. Don't ever give up on the chance of seeing them. Whatever money you might have, self-worth really lies in finding out what you do best. I have never been remotely ashamed of having been depressed. Never. What's to be ashamed of? I went through a really rough time and I am quite proud that I got out of that. You've got to work. It's about structure. It's about discipline. It's all these deadly things that your school teacher told you needed. You need it. Sometimes you have to stop trying to force it, walk away and let your subconscious show you the way. Fill up on life for a while. We're all human, aren't we? Every human life is worth the same and worth saving. Do not pity the dead, Harry. Pity the living and, above all, those who live without love. The knowledge that you have emerged wiser and stronger from setbacks means that you are, ever after, secure in your ability to survive. It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to our enemies, but just as much to stand up to our friends. The moment you are old enough to take the wheel, responsibility lies with you. Humans have a knack for choosing precisely the things that are worst for them. Secretly, we're all a little more absurd than we make ourselves out to be. Are you the sort of person who gloats when they see a woman fall, or the kind that celebrates a magnificent recovery? Never be ashamed. There's some who will hold it against you, but they're not worth bothering with. Hearing voices no one else can hear isn't a good sign, even in the wizarding world. Never trust anything that can think for itself if you can't see where it keeps its brain. There are some things you can't share without ending up liking each other. Youth cannot know how age thinks and feels, but old men are guilty if they forget what it was to be young. It is the unknown we fear when we look upon death and darkness, nothing more. Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. Things we lose have a way of coming back to us in the end, if not always in the way we expect. Books are like mirrors. If a fool looks in, you cannot expect a genius to look out. The most important thing is to read as much as you can, like I did. It will give you an understanding of what makes good writing, and it will enlarge your vocabulary. If someone asked for my recipe for happiness, step 1 would be finding out what you love doing most in the world, and step 2 would be finding someone to pay you to do it. I will carry on writing, to be sure, but I don't know if I would want to publish again after Harry Potter. I was convinced that the only thing I wanted to do ever was write novels. The discipline involved in finishing a piece of creative work is something on which you can truly pride yourself. Destiny is a name often given in retrospect to choices that had dramatic consequences.